feeling very combination 80s, 90s today. I'm wearing big hoops, a scrunchie. I don't think I've worn a scrunchie since 1999. Maybe 2000. Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh my goodness, I can't believe the day is finally here where I get to actually tell you guys about this project I have been planning with another project planner here on YouTube. Her name is Martha Blair. I will absolutely, of course, be linking her down below because this is a project that we will be doing together, and it is a project that I think will continue for some time. So you'll be seeing this on my channel for, I'm thinking, for several months, if not over a year. We'll see how long it takes us. We are going to be playing a game together. This is called Dude, You Panned by Battleship. If you haven't seen someone play this game yet, oh my goodness, it's super fun. So the first people I saw play this game, and I believe they were the creators of it, it's Kooky Pants on Instagram and Paula over at Beauty Guru made me do it. And it's just like it sounds. It's a game of Battleship, except it's with single eyeshadows. And you basically have your ships laid out on the game board and you are trying to sink the other person's ships by panning eyeshadows, and whoever sinks the other person's ships first wins. I have a feeling that Martha is going to completely cream me in this project because I have seen her pan some eyeshadows this year. I think I've panned one this entire year, but I could not refuse when she asked me if I want to do this with her. I love watching this project, and I think it's gonna be a really, really fun way to try and get some good use out of my singles. So let me put a picture of my game board. These are all the single shadows that I'm going to be trying to pan. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swatch them all out for you, and then maybe we'll talk strategy and see what I will be doing first. So starting in the top row, going across, that is a NARS shadow. It's this one in the shade Lahore. And I'm honestly terrified about the fact that I put NARS singles in this project. I feel like they're gonna take a really long time to pan. I don't know, but these are really great single shadow colors for me, so that's why I put them in. I knew that I would be able to put them all over my lid like every day and be okay with it. So let's get to swatching. See, isn't that pretty? Okay, so that is NARS Lahore. Next we've got this little square pen. This is actually a Viseart single shadow that I got randomly in Ipsy, and the name of it is French, so I'm not gonna even try to pronounce it. It's like, okay, maybe I will. Champs Elise, I don't know. I'm gonna put it down in the little corner so you guys can see. But this, I decided to put in the project because this would be a shadow that I could use in almost any look as like an inner corner shade or even a brow bone highlight or on the lid. So that is the Viseart shade. Next up is another NARS shadow. This one is Ashes to Ashes. Once again, it's another shadow that I think I could use as a single shadow look. Really easy to pair with other shadows as well. Next, it's a single from The Balm. This shadow is called St. Charles Avenue. This is a matte brown that I figured would go well with other looks, one that I could use almost every day. And yet I'm so afraid of panning mattes. I feel like it's so much easier to pan shimmers, but that's in there. And then lastly, in the top row, it's another NARS single shadow. This one's in the shade Cashmere. It's a bit more cool and taupey. See? Ooh, yeah, that's definitely my favorite one. Okay, so that is my first row. Starting the second row, I have this single from Suva Beauty. This is the shade Coriander. This is probably one of my oldest singles. You can see that I do have some use on it, and yet I feel like I'm nowhere near hitting pan. This is it's a super pigmented, really creamy shadow that I don't need a ton of at all to do what I want it to do. Remove more. I thought I had gotten those swatches off, but do a little better job here. Okay, so this is Suva Coriander. It is a really pretty lid shade and really nice in the inner corner. But like I said, that is my oldest single, so I'd be happy definitely to get more use out of this one. Next in that row is this shade from Makeup Geek. This is the shade Prism. This is another super light inner corner shade, but this one I think is a little bit duochromy. It has a little bit of like a purpley shift to it. Yep, for you, it just looks like a super pale shade, but for me, I can see a little bit of peachiness to it, a little bit of purple, and I like wearing that as an inner corner. Next, I decided to put in a Colourpop Super Shock. So this is the one that is in the shade Ritz. This is so gorgeous, tapped over the lid, and I thought this would be a really good opportunity to make sure I use my Colourpop Super Shocks. I particularly really love this one. It is great as a single shadow, but also as a topper. So I thought I could wear it, you know, again, to go with a lot of other shades. So I'll be happy to try and hit pan in this, although it does make me nervous because I don't know how long it will take me. Next is another shade from Makeup Geek. This is the shade Prom Night. This one is a little bit deeper than most of the other ones I put. Would probably be like an outer corner shade, or I guess I could wear it all over the lid, but it just really blended out. I don't tend to wear smoky looks very often. So I feel like this one, out of many of the shades I chose, this might be more difficult to use just because I would have to, I feel like, really focus more to be able to pan that one. But I decided to put it in, so it's my fault for torturing myself, although I do think it's a really pretty shade. Lastly, in that row, I used a Sydney Grace shade. This is the shade Speedway. It's another matte, which I wasn't sure if I wanted to do, but this is one that's perfect as a crease shade. I have no idea how difficult these shadows are to pan. Well, most of them, I have no idea how hard they are to pan. I've never really panned much eyeshadow before, but I do feel like this would take some effort. Oh goodness. All right, moving on to the next row. We start this row off with one of my favorite shades to wear on my lid ever. This is Makeup Geek in the Spotlight. This is probably the most colorful shadow in the entire project, but since it is one of my favorite shades to wear on my lid, I felt good. Oh, just look. That's why it's one of my favorite shades to wear on my lid. It's just, I love the wet look. It's so beautiful, love it. Next in that row, I put my CoverGirl single shadow in the shade Mink. This is a massive pan of eyeshadow. I'm obviously gonna be focusing in on just one spot to be able to hit pan in this. But this is another really good everyday color that I feel like, yeah, just look at that. It swatches super light. I feel like if I really wanted to, I could really build it up on the eye. So, but I still think this will take a while to pan as well. We'll see. Next is a shade from Makeup Geek called Mirror Mirror. When I was buying these, they had a whole bunch of like their round pans on sale, and I didn't realize I bought so many shades that were so close to each other. I bought several shades that were basically inner corner shades, but they are, you know, different enough from each other. Okay, so that one's Mirror Mirror. Next up is another Super Shock. This is the Colourpop Super Shock in the shade Ladybird. Once again, it's just a beautiful one to wear either by itself or tapped over another eye look. And then last in that row is Makeup Geek Shimma Shimma. This I love to wear all over the lid and in the inner corner. It's just a really nice tone. Yeah, that is a beautiful shade. I think it's a favorite from Makeup Geek for a reason. Okay, and now we're on to the fourth and final row. It's another light, shimmery, white inner corner shade from Makeup Geek. This one is the shade Stardust. That one has a bit more pigment than the last one I swatched. That's really pretty. Next, I have another Colourpop Super Shock, but this is in the satin formula. This shade is called Waddles. Really pretty single shadow look. Next, I have a matte shadow from Makeup Geek. This is in the shade Sand Dollar. It might be kind of hard to see here in the natural light, maybe, but maybe you can kind of see that it is kind of a grayish cream color. This is definitely what I would call like a transition shade for me anyway, with my skin tone. Can you even see it there? Get a little bit more. Yeah, this is a shadow that I really like wearing with cool toned looks when I feel like I could fit into a lot of different eye looks. Next up is a single that I've had to repress, so it looks a little crazy, and I'm holding it super gently because it is very delicate. This is a really pigmented single from Naked Cosmetics. This is one of their pressed pigments in the shade Mother Nature. So it's a big pan and it's kind of thin, but I don't need very much at all to create an eye look with this shadow. We'll see how panning this goes. The last shade is this one from Colored Rain. This is another one of my oldest eyeshadows, but it has really good formula. This is in the shade Who Me. This is my only shadow from Colored Rain, and I just think it's really good. Really creamy, super pigmented. Another one, I need hardly any pigment to do an eye look. I mean, whoa. Okay, so after seeing all those swatches, you guys can definitely see a theme. I go for shades that can easily be worked into other eye looks, like the inner corner shades, or shades that are really good as single shadow eye looks. I really like all of these shadows, and obviously I have no idea where she's placed her ships. I guess I should say that we each get a 2er, a 3er, and a 4er. So it's just me guessing at this point, at the start, where she could possibly have started. I personally think that she has probably put some on at least one of the NARS shadows, any of the mattes. Also probably that CoverGirl shade, because let's be honest, that's probably gonna be difficult to pan. So I'll probably have to target those, you know, pretty quickly into the project. But the first one that I think I'm gonna go for is actually one of the Super Shocks that I think is starting to dry up a little bit. That is this one in the shade Waddles. Okay, so there's Waddles. And then to pair with it, I might also put in Ladybird. Let's tap that over that and see how that looks. I'm sure it's beautiful. I have a feeling these, oh yeah, see, that is really pretty. I have a feeling that these Super Shocks, the super glittery ones, you know, I don't need a whole lot to make it look how I want. So I feel like they're gonna take me a while to pan. So I probably should try and pair those with as much of these looks as possible. Okay, to go along with that look, let's pick one of those inner corner shades. Okay, I think I'm gonna work on Stardust. Swatch it underneath it there. Whew, that was an intense swatch. So I feel like that's gonna be the inner highlight that I'm gonna use with these two shades. And I'm tempted to pull out one of those mattes to work on as like the crease shade for this eye look that I'll be doing every day, but I feel like I'll be blending out Waddles into the crease, so I don't think I'll need a separate crease shade. I mean, maybe as I experiment with it, I'll change my mind, but at the moment, I think I'm just gonna stick with those 3 to focus on. Now, I picked those without even looking at the board. I just wanted to pick ones from my little collection here that would go well together. But let's look real quick at where those are on the board. I'm gonna put the picture up again. So first of all, Waddles is in the bottom left-hand corner. Good place to start as any, I guess. Oh, and completely by accident, I picked one right next to it. Makeup Geek Stardust is the one that's right in the corner there, right next to it. So that'll be interesting. Working on that corner, I guess. Whereas Colourpop Ladybird is in the 3rd row, 4th column. So that's good. Something from a different section of the board. I'm going to try to do monthly updates for this. I would love to be able to hit 1 pan a month, but knowing myself, especially once I start working on some of those hard to hit, some of those really densely packed shades, that might not be the case. But I'm gonna try, and even if I don't have pan, I'll try and do an update for you every month, and that will be every month on the 20th. We'll be putting our updates up at the same time. So if you're interested to see how Martha's doing, like I said, I really think she's gonna do better at this than me. Make sure and check out her channel so you can see her board and the shadows that she is going to be working on. I hope you guys are excited about this project, because I really, really am. And the creators of this project have invited anyone who wants to participate to do so. So if you decide to also do this project, whether on Instagram or on YouTube or just with a friend in your life, definitely let me know down below. And if you're posting it somewhere, let me know. I would love to check it out. I think this project is so much fun. I'm feeling very combination 80s, 90s today. I'm wearing big hoops, a scrunchie. I don't think I've worn a scrunchie since 1999, maybe 2000, and an oversized sweater. Yeah, lots of things are coming back that I just didn't think that they would. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye!